Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show. Well, I have to say that being a police officer has probably never been more difficult than it is today. To talk about that with us is Senior Corporal Larry Bankston Jr. from the Dallas Police Department. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
First of all, I salute you because I know you guys aren't paid enough, and then now the country is talking about defunding police departments.
Right.
I mean, what is it like being a Dallas police officer right now?
Right now, I think it's hard to be a police officer anywhere, but most of us took the job because it was a calling. You know, I know I took the job because it was a calling. I didn't take it because I always wanted to be a police officer. Actually, I total opposite. Did not want to be a police officer, but like I said, I felt like it was something I was ordained to do. And when I finally accepted the calling, I 100% understand why I was pushed in this direction. I would say by God, because look at what we're going through today. And you got to have people with a diverse mindset to help smooth out this issue on a consistent basis. This is something that needs to be fixed. I shouldn't say fix. The system needs to evolve.
Yes.
And it needs to evolve permanently. We shouldn't go backwards.
Yes.
We should be looking at going forward at this point.
You have a diverse background. Where did you grow up?
I was born in Pine Bluff, Arkansas, and my parents separated. One set of parents went to Bolingbrook, Illinois. Another set of parents went to Kansas City, Missouri. So I kind of grew up between both areas. In Bolingbrook, Illinois, I had a more diverse group of friends. Kansas City, Missouri, I would like to say it was the high school experience was more like Lean on Me, that movie Lean on Me.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
But I wouldn't change it for the world. It's helped me be the person that I am today. So, yeah.
And it probably allows you to float between crowds and just do it with ease. And I think I have to believe that with every interaction you have, you really are representing not just the police department, but police everywhere. So people's views of the police are formed by one-on-one interactions.
Yeah, I like to say that I'm a representative of law enforcement across the. At this point, we can't even say across the country because what's happening now is international. So I am a representative of law enforcement across the world. I would like to say.
Yes.
That, yeah.
You gave an interview a couple of years ago to Sean Rabb, who I love because I worked with Sean Rabb at Fox 4 for many years. Right. Let's go ahead and roll that clip right now.
Larry Bankston, why did you call me?
I just wanted to talk to you about the perspective that some of us other officers have.
Larry Bankston is a 15-year Dallas police officer.
We all have our own opinions about things that happen.
But the senior corporal feels like when bad things happen by one police, like the killing of Botham Jean by Dallas officer Amber Geiger, hostility goes up against all police. He's faced it twice this week from a white man.
And he was like, I don't like police. And once again, I was like, man, you don't even know me. And he was like, it doesn't matter. You know, I don't like police.
And a black woman, both at his own Cedars area apartment building.
And I was like, ma'am, you don't even know me. And she said, I don't have to know you. It's a cover up. And I'm like, I don't know what happened. I'm upset about what happened as well. It doesn't matter. You guys are all in it together.
In 2016, Bankston brought social media attention to Stephen Hall, who jumped into a swimming pool to save a drowning girl. Bankston's post shared hundreds of thousands of times. Different from the social media posts being shared since Botham Jean's killing.
You feel like what's happening is unfair, Larry?
I don't. It's not. I feel like it's unfair to look at every officer like they're not an individual, like they're the same, because we forget at one point in our history we were fighting and protesting for me to be able to be in the uniform. Without that fight and that protest, I wouldn't be representing the communities that are angry right now.
And your message is hey, let's get together.
My message is, yeah, let's get it together. We can't control the actions of anyone, but we can control ourselves.
One man, one officer, speaking for the individuals who are police.
I just hope that the command staff know that my heart's in the right place. That I ain't trying to make any waves or anything like that. I'm just trying to make it better for everyone, because maybe they feel like they can't say what I can.
Bankston says he doesn't want people to paint all police officers with the same bad brush. He hopes people understand they too feel bad about what has happened. And he says every day, Clarice, they're still answering calls and running to and not from the danger.
Wow. It's almost like you could have filmed that yesterday.
Right. Yeah.
So in the past 2 years, how would you describe things between police and the community? Is it worse now?
I felt like it was getting better as far as from what I was observing. But like I said, that's one of the reasons why I became a police officer. Don't get me wrong. I enjoy catching the evil guy, like the real evil guy, real crime, like people that are murdering and raping and human trafficking and all that. I love catching those type of people and burglars, But mentoring in the community also is a passion of mine. The kids that I deal with in the area that I patrol, they call me Unc. They don't even call me Officer Bankston. They say, hey, that's Unc. And I appreciate the relationships they've allowed me to develop with them.
Yes.
They actually come to me and say, I got kicked out of the foster home or the hotel that I'm staying in. I'm hungry. If I don't eat, I'm gonna eat. You understand what I'm saying, Unc? Like, oh yeah, I got you. Let's go get you something to eat. I appreciate that. Thank you for telling me where your mind was going. And I think that sometimes, I can't expect every officer to be like me, but it would be nice if officers could be ambassadors of the neighborhoods that they're patrolling for the people that are needing resources.
Yes.
That we have a lot of resources in this country, but I think a lot of officers are becoming jaded because they feel like they're being beat down. They don't want to be called racist all the time. They don't want to be called pigs and killers and all that kind of stuff. So it's a two-way street. We want to reward good behavior in the community, but also we want to reward our officers for doing a good job as well. It's just like in a poor community. The media highlights, and I'm not trying to knock the media, we need the media, but the media highlights the killings and the bad stuff. It's not too often you hear about the good things that are happening in those communities.
Yes.
It's the same with the police department. Every day I see police officers doing awesome things. White, black, brown. I see them all. Female, male, gay, it doesn't matter. I see officers doing great things every day, but that's not what the world sees. The world sees when we screw up. And when we screw up, it is bad. So, and I'm not trying to take away what happened in Minnesota. That was horrible. There's no excuse. That was 100% horrible what that man did. And it was embarrassing to me as a police officer. And I know people are tired of hearing, oh, you got bad apples in each bunch. But I don't know what to say because it's true. And everything that we do, there's going to be human error.
Yes.
It's going to be human mental illness.
Yes.
It's going to be human evil. I don't know what to say to that. I mean, but it's the truth. In my opinion, that is the truth.
How do you think this will play out? I know the country has to go through stuff to get to the other side. Are we going to go through this okay?
I believe we'll be okay, because I believe the majority of us understand that everybody's angry right now and they're expressing it, which is good. I love the fact that people are protesting together. Police officers, white people, Hispanic, Asian, everybody's protesting together. I don't agree with the damaging of property and all the rioting and people getting hurt, but I am happy to see that it's a unified effort to make this better. I'm happy about that. I'm happy that we're finally kind of looking at race relations a little bit closer and trying to understand why a certain group of Americans have a certain perspective about America. Now, you might not like to hear that perspective, but if you take the time to get uncomfortable, your blessing is in your discomfort. Because if you say, okay, why do they see us this way? Mm-hmm. But then you start doing your research and you see black bodies hanging from trees, and you see, you read about what really happened during slavery.
Yes.
You read about what the Confederate flag really represents in Confederate monuments.
Yes.
It represents the opposite of patriot. If we're Americans and we're all about being free, I don't see how you can support a Confederate anything, because that is the opposite of freedom. It represents slavery. It's a contradiction of being a patriot, in my opinion.
Yes.
Now, if we don't want to judge our citizens that may have had some trouble down the line, and we want to help them rehabilitate and go out in society and be great citizens, we can't keep bashing them over the head with the things that they did wrong in the past, because if that's the case, then we're going to look at we got to pull the cover off a whole lot of things, because those Confederate soldiers were actually, they committed treason, right? According to the,
right.
So
right.
there's a lot of things that we're going to have to look at and accept, but why do all that? Let's just move forward and make it better for everybody, make it better for all Americans. Let's just do that. Let's take the politics out of it and make it better. And as far as I'm concerned, as far as politics go, I know you didn't bring this up, but this is a good point I think that we need to bring up. Make them earn your vote. Whoever it is, make them earn your vote. I mean, don't just vote against your own interests because your family is voting for this party or that party. Do some research. Find out what you are interested in. I'm studying that a lot of, especially black females, are getting their concealed carry license, which they should. That goes towards a certain party. That's a good talking point for a certain party. But normally black females vote for a different party. I'm not going to mention the parties, but
right,
you get where I'm going with that?
Right.
So we got to start looking at all the details. The devil's in the details, and even mentioning defunding the police department. You got to look at the details of that, because to me that's a very bad idea, because essentially that would hurt poor communities. If you take funds away from the educational system has already took funds away. They defunded the educational system, and everybody wants to put their kid in a private school, but can everyone afford that?
Right.
So I think that police departments would kind of go in that direction if you start defunding police departments. And certain areas can privatize police departments, and certain areas can't. So the quality of policing will go to the more affluent neighborhoods versus the poor neighborhoods.
Wow. Senior Corporal, we're out of time. You've done a great job, and I appreciate your service, and I appreciate your ministry, because I think this is a calling for you.
Thank you.
I really appreciate your service.
Appreciate it.
We're going to end by putting your Facebook page up. Please get a hold of Larry on Facebook, and thanks again for your service.
All right. Appreciate you.
You bet.
Thanks.
That's it for now. We'll see you next time.